Astrology. This is the birth chart for Esther Hicks, and we don't have the time for her, so this is just her birth chart without the houses. She was a Sun in Pisces, Moon in Capricorn. Here's the Sun in Pisces, Moon in Capricorn, second decan, the Taurus decan, and that moon there is making a trine to that North Node in Taurus. South Node in Scorpio. Mars, Saturn, and Pluto in Leo. And a Venus, Jupiter trine in Fire. So let's take a look here right off the bat here in the beginning. We see the emphasis on money right here. We know she's known for being a New Age teacher, teaching what seems to be spirituality, big on making things happen for you, manifestation as she calls it. And I have some videos on manifestation. If you're into Esther Hicks, I would check them out. A little bit different than what she talks about, and I'm going to talk about that here in this video. You'll see there's a big emphasis on money. And I'm seeing that with the North Node in Taurus, the Moon in Capricorn in the Taurus decan trining that North Node, and we see that with the Moon in Capricorn. She's really she wants to be on top. She wants to climb the ladder. She wants to have status, things of that nature. And I just did a video on this. I'll link it down in the description, and it has some comments about Moon and Capricorn. And we see that Venus, Jupiter trine in Fire. I also made some comments in that video about Jupiter and Leo. We see her Jupiter is here in the Leo decan. She has a grand trine here in Fire. You can see it's trining that Mars Saturn conjunction in Leo. So with that Jupiter Venus trine, there's more emphasis on money. We can even see Venus in the Jupiter decan, that combination there of Venus and Jupiter again. It's a very fortunate aspect. And the Sun in Pisces is making a square to Uranus. So you can see she has Saturn retrograde. That really points to Uranus. Saturn and Uranus kind of going at each other. She also has a sextile between Saturn and Uranus. So what does that mean? She's very individualistic. She's about promoting herself. You could say here with that, she has Uranus trining Mercury, and then Mercury's in Aquarius, ruled by Uranus. She's very much into these you could call them spiritual techniques, spiritual thought, just the idea of the stuff that's mixed in with her teachings, the advanced thought, the idea that you can create things with your mind. Those kinds of things are definitely associated with Uranus. She has a lot of really good aspects, like this Jupiter Mercury sextile as well. She's got this Jupiter opposite Uranus there in Sagittarius and Gemini. And so you can see with all these aspects, they come together. Aside from the money stuff, she's really studied this information that she's teaching, and it is some occulted information. It's very advanced and idealistic, the information. And you can see that with the Sun here in Neptune. She's into spirituality, practical spirituality, in the sense that she wants to, she talks a lot about the manifestation. That Mercury here is squaring the nodes of the moon. We see this very often if you look at some of my other charts, that it's really she's got this need to resolve this Scorpio here, with that Mercury moving away from the node. And what does that mean? Well, the ruler of that south node is Pluto and Mars, and it's here in Leo, in that stellium in Leo. So this is a person who's using her presenting ability and her ability to promote and really put herself center stage in order to do that, to get other people to pay her. She's kind of, this is where you'll see, if you really look at different charts and see them come together. She's not much different from like just from an astrology standpoint, like raw energy. She's not much different from, say, someone who's a preacher at a church, or especially some of these churches, these mega churches, where they, like a Joel Osteen or something like, or someone like that. She's just preaching different information, and you can see she's a master salesman. You see with this Jupiter in Sagittarius, the Sun in Pisces, and it's connected. You can't deny that it's not connected to earning money. You see the Sun making a sextile to the North Node, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's not a judgment. It's just, if we, I haven't done too many really truly spiritual people, but if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, because I'm going to do many more truly spiritual people, and we'll see the difference. We'll see some of the differences. But yeah, that South Node, you can see it's ruled by these planets in Leo, and yeah. So let me try to simplify this. Spiritual teacher, New Age, selling New Age thought, wants to be on stage, wants to be center focused, or focus on her in order to earn money and get people, essentially get the attention of people, so that she can do that. Now, certainly she comes across with this Aquarius as someone who's Aquarian, community oriented, very social. I see it more as she's very idealistic. Like, if this is true, like if, say, she's honestly pursuing this without any like strategic plan, like she really just wants to have eyes on her, and wants to make a lot of money, and she's really truly thinks that she's really truly helping people. I think you could see that here with this Aquarius. It's also making a sextile to Venus. You can see here in the middle, if you look at the aspects, there's a lot of aspects to really bring together. And if you study astrology, a lot of people like this analysis. They want to look at the separate parts. But if you're watching this and you're learning astrology, can you look at a chart and just make a assessment based on the whole chart? Like, really consider the whole person, how it all comes together, as opposed to breaking it up in pieces. How I talked about the Jupiter Venus being, like, you could say, is a good fortunate aspect. Can you look at this whole chart and make an assessment? You could call it a judgment, just a description of this person, or really see the person as they are in the real flesh, when you're looking at this chart. And this is one of those charts that you can, really, sometimes it's harder than others, and this is one you can really see. It's easier, I think, to see it really come alive and see Esther Hicks by looking at looking at the astrology. You can see her really come to life by looking at this chart. So if you made it this far, feel free to comment below and subscribe to the channel. I have many more videos on astrology and birth chart analysis. I do have many videos on spirituality, and I would get into deciphering what different different modes of thought in the spirituality community really means and where they're coming from, and really get to the bottom of what's going on with spirituality. And I hope this finds you well, and have a great day.